Welcome back. This is Dan Havey with Real Network Marketing Secrets, and in this video we're going to go through setting up the email sequence that you're going to need to have after somebody opts into your funnel. So what we're going to do first is we need to set up an email list. So we're going to come up here to Actionetics, and I'm going to hold down my command button and click on Email Lists, and then we're going to open up that tab. And what we want to do is come over here to the right and click on Add New List. And we're going to give this funnel a name. So let's just call it Application Opt-in. And we're going to give it a group tag. And we're just going to put it in our MLM folder. And we don't want it to be a smart list at this point here. So let's just create new list. And then from here, let's go back into the funnel editor. And we want to go to Automation. Because when somebody opts in, we have to tell the program to add that person to the list. So we want to add a new action, and we'll give this a name, and we'll just call this application add to list. And the condition is we want it for everybody. So we just click on everybody. And ClickFunnels internal is your only possible integration. Add to action is add to list. You could do other things, but in this case, we're going to do add to list. And with where are we going to send them to? We're going to send them to that application opt-in list that we just created, and we're going to create that funnel action. And immediately it's right there, so that when somebody opts in on the very first page, they're going to immediately be put onto this list and then sent through our funnel. So now let's go back into our email sequence. And now what we have to do is we have to go up and we need to find that follow-up funnel that we downloaded in the very first episode. So we'll click on our follow-up funnels. And unless you moved it, it should be in the shared funnels folder. So we'll just scroll down and we'll find the one I uploaded the other day. And then what we'll do is we'll go up to Edit Settings, because we need to associate this with the list that we just created. And so we'll leave the name there. We can change the tag on where it's going to live. Right now it's in the shared funnels folder. Let's just take that out, and let's just say we're going to make an MLM folder. And then who will receive this funnel? And we will just scroll down to the bottom, and we will grab our application opt-in list, and we will update our follow-up funnel. Now we're ready to jump into the steps themselves. So let's just go to the first one where it says finish the app. And we're going to go to Edit Settings. You can see here we got stats and stuff, but obviously right now we have 0 stats, so we'll just edit the settings. So we have a step name. Probably just leave that alone. No reason to change it. No one will see it except you inside of your account. Then you're going to come down here and you're going to click on this. There shouldn't be anything here, but I was playing around with this a little bit earlier. And so you're going to pick the integration, the SMTP or email integration that you want to use. So we'll just pick this one here. And normally here, this will say Steve Larson. So type in your name and then come down. We don't need to set any rules. We'll just click on Next. And then you have your subject line and the pre-header line. Again, I would just leave these alone. And we can click on Edit the Email to see what it looks like and make any changes if we wish. So it says, hey, it's Steve. So you probably want to take that out and put in your name. So let's do that. Let's see. Hey, it's Dan. And I took out a period. So, hey, it's Dan. And just read through here and make sure it fits with what your offer is. Make sure it fits with what you're telling people. So down here, he's got an image of his page with the application on it. So let's go back into our funnel and we go to our Apply Here page. So you may want to go into this page when it's live, and just to let you know, as soon as you start building these funnels, they are live. You don't have to do anything to make them go live onto the internet. They're live immediately. That's what the function of the subdomain does, is it makes it a live page on the internet immediately, but don't worry about it until you start sending traffic to it. No one's going to see it. So come in here, open up this page. In fact, what we'll do is let's just open this up in a new window. And once you get done fixing everything up, putting in your own video, putting in your own application, you can come in and take a screen capture. Just take a screen capture of the page. If you're on a Mac, you just do Shift-Command-4. Let me just do that, Shift-Command-4, and you can come in and just make a copy of that part of the page. and then you can use that inside of your email and just put that in here if you would like, just like Steve did. So now let's go back. And so what we need to do is we need to grab a hold of this URL right here, and we'll just copy that out. We'll go back into the funnel or into the email, and we're going to click on that image after we put the image in. So again, you'll put your image in right here. Let me click on this. So it works just like the other image editor did. It's just a little smaller in size, and you'll have all of your different images set in here, and you'll be able to pick and choose which one you want. But then what we're going to do is we got our link URL, so we're going to copy in the URL from the page that we want them to go to, and I just accidentally deleted the 3. So again, we want them, once they get to this point, let me just back out of here, done editing settings. So from this page right here, from this link, we want them to go back to this page right here so they can fill in this form in case they did not already fill it in. They may have filled it in, they may not have. There's really no condition on here whether they did or not. It just sends them back here anyway. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to send them back there. Then also this button right here will also need that same link. So we'll put that link in there as well. And then this little text down here, same thing as well. We're going to click on the little pencil icon, and up here in the top, you might miss it, but it's right up here at the top. We also want to put in that same URL, and then we will click the X just to close that box. Now the image, the button, and the text will all send them back to the application page where your Wufoo or Google form will be for them to fill out. Now the next thing, we'll just keep scrolling down the page. Obviously you're going to take out this and put in your own name, but like I said, read everything, make sure you understand what's going on. Down here at the bottom he talks about they're going to go through an MLM primer or primer, however you want to pronounce it, and it's going to be a 5-video series that's going to walk them through all kinds of different training on MLMs, and we'll look at that in a minute here. And then we have his footer, which again, he's selling all of his products and everything else down here at the bottom. So probably at this point here, just to get yourself started, you're going to probably want to take all of this out, but you get a really good idea. He got this idea originally from Russell. I've seen a whole bunch of people using it, and it's a very effective way. I forget what kind of percentage increase they got over at ClickFunnels when they started using this, but it was a huge increase. And I almost missed this up here. Right here, again, is another place. Look for my email tomorrow, finish the application process here. So we're going to also paste in that URL right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's one other place on here. Yeah, here we go. So there's, 5 different places that URL goes in there. And don't be afraid of putting that in, because the more places people got to click, the more likely they're going to end up getting back to your application. So again, like I said, to begin with, you might want to just delete this out, but keep it in mind, make a copy of it, just so you can come back here and maybe recreate this at some point in the future. So now let's just click save, and it will have updated that email. Now, if you want to come back here, what we can do is we can click on this button and it will preview it on a new page so you can see exactly what this email is going to look like. Okay, now next up, let's go into the next step in the funnel, and we will click on that. And then we will click on Edit Settings. And the same thing as before, we're going to send from, we're going to pick our SMTP to send from. And then we're going to take out Steve's name and we're going to put in our own. And we're going to click on Next. And in this case here, he doesn't have in a pre-header. You could always put one in there as well. That will be, most of the time, this will show up as like a second subject line, depending on how somebody's email is set up. So it can be important, but it's not the most important thing in the world. So we'll edit the email. And hey, it's Steve again. Change out the name. Let me see here. If you didn't finish the application, please fill it out here. So we'll click on that and we'll put in our link there as well. So to paste that in, hit the X to close it out. So now we got that in there, and we got our URL we can put here again. Okay, the first video is going to walk you through the #1 challenge most MLMers have constantly. Okay, so this is a new URL now. So let's go back into our funnel, and we're going to open up some stuff we haven't looked at yet. And down here under other funnel steps, there are actually another, 5, 6, 7, 8, another 8 steps down here that we hadn't talked about before. So let's open up this one here, Module 1 Preview. We'll just click on it and it will open it up. Okay, so here's the step, and we'll just open it up in our page editor again. And what you're going to get is what we generally refer to as a PLF or product launch funnel type of a page, where you have a series of videos across the top, and every email you're going to see in our list of emails, every email is going to send person to a different one of these videos, because there's actually going to be 5 different pages with 5 different videos highlighted. So in this case here, it's just showing that the first video was unlocked. But the truth is somebody could come to this page and they could click on all of these videos and actually watch the video. Now, the really important part about this page, besides that we have to change some links, is right down at the bottom here. This is just a repeat of what is on the broadcast page. So if you change out anything on your broadcast page in this area down here where Steve is telling them to call this certain phone number, then you want to make sure you change it on here and also the other 4 pages that have the video on it as well. But all these here are just videos that Steve made having to do with his secret MLMs hacks. So you may want to take out this part at the bottom down here, of course, change your colors and whatnot. This part here, you haven't seen one of these before. This is a progress bar. Let's just click on it and open it up. And it says % here, but you can put in any words, as you can say here, or you can put in like 50%, and it will change it on the screen right here. In the blue, it changed it. And then you can also do the same over here. These are actually 2 separate elements, and they're inside of a row. And so you can move the row as we go along, and you're going to see that as we go from one video to the next, it will show that we are moving along the timeline as we go across the screen. Inside of each one of these videos is just a link back to this page itself. So inside of each one of these images, and that's what they are just images, there is a link existing right now, but if you leave in this link, you're actually going to be sending people into Steve's funnel, and you probably don't want to be doing that. So what you want to do, for each one, you have video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to go back and find the actual page for that. So let's just go back into Module 1, leaving the editor open. We're just going to find it back in the funnel editor. And so now this is open, and what we need to do is we need to grab a hold of this URL and copy that out, come back in here, and then for our first one, let's just make sure I've clicked on the right one. So let's close that out. Let's click back onto the image. And we want to take out Steve's URL and we want to replace it with the page URL that we want them to go to. And unfortunately, you're going to have to repeat that for every single one of these videos, because every one is going to have Steve's link in it. And there are 5 different pages like this. So unfortunately, you're going to have 25 pages where you're going to have to come in and update the URLs inside these images. And then when we get to this point here, and we get to the other, which I haven't even talked about yet, when we get to the other pages where it's Miles, Allison, and Don, let's just open up one of those, because we're going to run into the same issue there as well. And we'll open it up. So this is the page for Allison. So let's see what happens when we click on this image. And you're going to see it's the same thing, is join my downline /Allison. And so again, that would take you back to Steve's funnel. So you want to make sure you grab the URL for the Allison page and you put that in here, but also put in the URL for this page here. And let's see here, that's Miles, that's his name, Miles. And so we want to make sure we have the right link for the Miles and then also for Don, and take those out of your funnel pages. So after you're done editing the page and putting in the proper links, which I have not done at this point, let's then click on preview. And you want to do this with all the pages as you're going through the funnel. Just click on preview and test the link. So we got Allison's video coming up. That's working good. But if I click on Miles, what it's going to do is it's going to take me, you see right here, it takes me to joinmydownline.com. So it takes you to Steve's site. So you want to go through and make sure you test every single one of your links, click on every single one of the videos, both in the Meet the Person section and then also in the section where we have the videos right in here. So let's click on preview for that as well and test to make sure they're going where they should go to by clicking on the link and seeing what page opens. Now again here, we're back to Steve's site, so let's go back. I don't know if I probably didn't even save this page. So that's it. You want to go in, make sure you get all of your links properly put in here, and then make sure you test it, or you're going to be sending traffic over to Steve, and I doubt if you want to do that having spent your money to get people there in the first place. So now let's just pop back out of here, and that page went dead, so let's just click our back button and we will leave the page. And let's go back down to our funnel steps and let's open up module number 3 just to see what that looks like. And you'll see now that Steve has moved the row over to the middle, so it looks as though these 3 are unlocked and these 3 are still locked. But like I said, I'm pretty sure if we go live with this, if anybody clicks on any of these, they can just move through all the videos. And again, we have the broadcast area down here at the bottom telling people how they can get signed up to join your MLM. So I think that's really it. Actually, now I think about it, there are 2 more videos, or 3 more, in fact, I think, where he has testimonial videos, and that, again, is part of the email sequence. So let's look at the one with Allison on it, and we'll open up the editor. And it's very much the same idea here. We have Meet Allison, and then there's the video of Allison right here doing her testimonial. And then we have, I think his name is Clifford, and then we have Don Hobbs down here. So again, somebody can come along and they can click on any one of these 3 videos and watch them. And again, we have the same thing down here at the bottom. So all of these 8 videos really serve the same purpose. They are creating credibility, social proof, and at the same time driving people back here saying, okay, get on the phone with me, or whatever action you want them to take. But in Steve's case, get on the phone with me and I'll get you signed up to be in my downline. So let's back out of this again, and we're going to go back into our follow-up funnel. So we're going to come up to the top, we're going to come up to Actionetics, we're going to come back down to follow-up funnels, and we'll go find that funnel again. I still had the tab open, but I want to make sure you know how to get back and find that funnel. So we're going to come into our follow-up funnels. We have our MLM folder, and we are going to click on our follow-up funnel. And let's go back into that video 1 and go back to editing our settings. And again, we're going to change our send from. We're going to pick out our SMTP, put in our name, click next, and then click on edit our email. So again, right here, we want to put in this link here to send them back to our application page. Then down here at the bottom, you're going to want to put in the links to your modules. So again, we're going to come back into the funnel editor page itself, and we are going to come down and we're going to grab a hold of our module 1, which should have already been showing here on the screen. Actually, it wasn't, so we'll open that up for module 1. And here, once again, we want to copy out this URL. We want to go back into our email. And the same thing as before, we're going to just click on the image, and we're going to put in our URL. And click on Done Editing. Same thing with our button. Put in the URL, save that. And the same thing with this text link. Click on the pencil, and put it in the spot up on top and click on X. Scroll down, take out Steve. If you're having people call you, put in the phone number here. Otherwise, read this and modify it however you want. Of course, do that with all of these emails. And then again, think about the footer. And I don't think I said this earlier, but when I went through the SMTP, I know I kind of skipped over creating a universal footer. So when I'm talking about creating the footers for the pages themselves and for building your own footer here, I'm also going to go back to the SMTP footer just as an example to show you how to do that. And so then we can just close this out. I'm not going to save it at all. And then again, if you want to preview it, just click on that and click on Next. And now here we got this one set up for 1 day into the future. And here's part you can do. Again, if it's not really set, I wouldn't necessarily do it, but maybe you know that people in your market tend to look at emails during certain times of the day and that you should send them during that time of the day. So let's say you know that people really look at email between like 10 a.m. and noon. So we can change this to 10 a.m. and noon, and you only want the emails going out on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, or whatever you want. You get the idea. You can change it here, and you can put in what they call a push window. And then we can click on Review for Sending. And over here on the right, you can send yourself a test email. So if you want to send out a test, you just put in your email address here and you send yourself a test. I frankly would do that with every single one of these pages. I would also put myself on the list and send myself through the list, and every day take a look at the emails and make sure all the links are right, because there are going to be a lot of links you're going to have to put in there. There's a lot of moving parts. And so, yes, it's very likely that something is going to get messed up. So you want to test and test and test this stuff just to make sure it's coming out properly, because you want to be able to influence as many leads as you possibly can. And then when you're completely done with it and you're ready to go, you just come down to the bottom and you click on Make It Live, but we're not going to do that at this point. Now let's just look at a couple more quick things here, because you got your video 2, 3, 4, 5, so you know what to do there. You got your Meet Miles, Meet Allison, Meet Don, exact same thing as the rest. You saw the pages, and so you get the idea on how that works. And then we just have one more we're going to look at very quickly, and that is the Add to SMH Seinfeld list. So we're going to go up to our edit settings, and under send from, we're going to open that up, and we are going to just click on Actionetics, and then we're going to click on Next. Because what this is going to do is it's going to take somebody off the existing list that they're on. Well, actually, it doesn't even take them off the list, because we're through all the emails that they're going to receive. But what we want to do is we want to add them to another list, and we call that a Seinfeld list because it comes from the show Seinfeld, and it's supposedly emails about nothing. But what it's really about is just your everyday list that you're going to be continuing to send stuff to people, whether it's promotions, whether it's stuff that they need to know. They're going to go on to that list after they've gone through the 9 days of the funnel before that. So what we want to do is we just want to come up here and click on Add to List, and then you get to pick out your list that you want to put them on. Now at this point here, you probably don't have a list made. So again, you want to come up to Actionetics, to Email Lists, and create a list just like we did at the very beginning of this video. Then you're going to put that list in here, choose that one. I'll just choose my seed list, and I will click on Next. And when do we want to trigger this action? Well, we got 9 days worth of videos here. So let's do it on our 10th day, which is already set. You can put in your push window again, and then we can click on Review for Sending. Even though there's nothing to send, it's just an action that it takes where it adds the people to another third list. But it gives you an overview of this, and then when you're done, again, of course, you can click on Make Live. Now, the last thing we want to do is we want to come up, and I already clicked on Recruiting Funnel Sequence. I already clicked on this here at the top. And you can see once you go through and you set up all of these steps within the funnel, basically the main thing is you need to turn on your SMTP. Then you can come in and you can toggle that to live, so that when anybody gets added to the list, they will immediately get sent the very first email in the list. And so we have that now set to live, and you would come through and you would set every single one of these to live. And then once you set each funnel step to live, I clicked on the Finish the App here. You will see that up here at the top, it shows that it is live. And of course, at any point, we can click on the other side of that little icon, and it says you're about to pause, and you just say, I want to confirm that. And then it will pause it and it will turn it off as well. So that's how you set up all of the follow-up funnels inside of our recruiting funnel. It is a little bit of work. You are going to have to put in a bunch of links. You are going to have to do some rewriting of the script if you need to. You probably want to remove the footer for right now, the stuff where Steve sells all of his stuff, unless what you could do is you could get some of Steve's affiliate links for his secret MLM hacks or his my funnel stash. You could become an affiliate for him, grab a hold of your affiliate links, and you could pop those into the bottom, because if you're going to keep using Steve's videos, you might as well take advantage of it and also sell his products. So it's a way you can make a little bit of an affiliate commission as well on top of recruiting people into your MLM. So that's really the end of the main videos here. Like I said, there are going to be other videos on working with the footers, working with colors. Hang on a second. Let me take a look here. I have a list here, actually. The footers, the Facebook comments, and how to set it up if you didn't want to do phone calls. So there are going to be another 3 or 4 or 5 videos down below. And if you're within the CF Ninja Hacks site and you're viewing this here, let me just show you the CF Ninja Hacks site. You're going to be down here somewhere at the bottom. I haven't even created this part yet, but there will be links down here into other parts inside of the training area that will give you better ideas on how to set things up. But again, at this point here, it's mostly about let's get this set up as quickly as you possibly can, get driving some business to it. So just really watch the training I've done so far, go through it as quickly as you can, get this thing up and running. Make sure you test it along the way, because it doesn't cost you any money to test it. So just make sure you test it. And as long as you're on the $297 plan, you're going to have Actionetics available to you, and you can run all the emails through what you want. You can run all the tests through what you want. It's not going to cost you anything for the first 14 days. So that's it for now. Feel free at any time to reach out to me with any kind of questions, and then also look for the other training below these videos to help fill in some of the gaps that we missed. I hope you enjoyed the training. I hope it was helpful to you, and I wish you the best of luck in your MLM. Have a great day.